Time to talk to you now about one of my favorite places to eat in Tuscaloosa, Nuke's Express Cafe, 205 University Boulevard East, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. In fact, I was in there yesterday. Now, yesterday, I decided to go with the turkey sandwich and the Simply salad, the half Simply salad, because when you have a sandwich, there's no way you can eat the entire Simply salad. You got to get half of it. That turkey was absolutely moist and delicious. I got that Creole mustard that I love so much. On my salad, I got honey mustard, croutons that are made fresh right there at Nuke's. It was splendid as usual. Went with the unsweetened tea. Now, most of the time I'm going to go with the sweet, but like I said, trying to watch the calorie intake a little bit, so I went with the unsweetened tea yesterday, but saw many of you there enjoying lunch, as I always do. Whether it's an oven-toasted sandwich, California-style pizza, or hand-tossed salad, everything's made with fresh ingredients. They also have a terrific dessert menu, beer and wine menu as well. Call 758-2455 for your catering needs. Nuke's Express Cafe, just up from the University of Alabama campus in Tuscaloosa. Well, as you've probably heard by now, New York Yankees owner George Steinbrenner passed away early this morning after suffering a massive heart attack. He was 80 years old. Now, there's a strong Alabama connection to Steinbrenner. He and Coach Paul Bryant were very good friends. In fact, Steinbrenner and Billy Martin brought the Yankees to Tuscaloosa in 1978 to play Alabama in an exhibition game. This is a terrific picture. That's Burt Bank from left to right, Billy Martin, George Steinbrenner, and Coach Bryant. Coach Bryant would visit with Mr. Steinbrenner oftentimes when he was in New York City, sometimes down in Tampa, where, of course, Mr. Steinbrenner made his home and had an office there as well. He was a guy that was controversial, but they say he was loyal to a fault, and if you were a friend of his, he would go to bat for you. And he and Coach Bryant were certainly close. This is just a priceless picture right here, and that's courtesy of the University of Alabama. All four of those gentlemen now that you see on the screen are deceased, but well-known sports figures, not just in Alabama, but around the world. And if you live in Tuscaloosa or West Alabama, seeing the progress of the South End Zone project at Bryant-Denny Stadium may not be that big a deal, but if you live outside the area, well, take a look. It's just about complete. Construction crews are putting the final touches on the addition, which will bring Bryant-Denny's seating capacity to more than 100,000. It'll also make the stadium 2 decks all the way around. Countdown to kickoff is only 53 days to Alabama takes on San Jose State on September 4th at that refurbished, gorgeous Bryant-Denny Stadium. And take a look at this. How close are we getting? Well, they were testing the new Jumbotrons on Monday. All the new Jumbotrons are high definition. There'll be 4 of them throughout the stadium. New audio as well. It's really going to add even more to the viewing experience of watching a football game at what is now one of the finest college football facilities in the entire country. Well, when we come back, we'll break down game number 8 on the Tide schedule, the annual meeting with the Tennessee Volunteers. It's been a rocky offseason on Rocky Top. How will that affect the Vols on the field? We'll analyze. Plus, we'll be taking your phone calls and getting to your emails. Again, the number there on your screen, 205-348-9882. Or you can email us, TITV at WVUATV.com. And don't forget, later on, we'll make our predictions on games 5 through 8. Rodney Orr will join us then. Stay with us.
Daniel Lincoln from 45 yards out to win it for the Volunteers. The snap, the spot. The kick is blocked. It's blocked by Alabama. It is blocked by Alabama. The Crimson Tide wins. The Crimson Tide wins. The Crimson Tide wins.
What a difference one play can make in a season. That blocked field goal by Terrence Cody, his second of the game, is what allowed Alabama to keep its perfect season intact and beat the Vols. Afterwards, Tennessee coach Lane Kiffin said that it was a game Tennessee should have won, and it was a game that they would win in years to come. One problem for Kiffin, though, he won't win it. He bolted Knoxville first chance he got, choosing instead to go back to Southern California, taking over the USC program in January. Now, Derek Dooley was the man hired to take over. Dooley has strong football ties. His father, former Georgia coach Vince Dooley, won a national championship with the Dogs in 1980, and he's a Nick Saban disciple, having served on Saban's staff at LSU. In fact, he has patterned his coaching style after Nick Saban. Dooley's task at Tennessee is going to be a tough one. Just last week, he kicked 1 player off the team, suspended 2 more, and there's more players that may be in trouble following an early morning brawl at a Knoxville night spot. Alabama and Tennessee will meet this year on October 23rd. That's the fourth Saturday in October. For years, it was always on the third Saturday. We know that's changed in recent times, and that will be the case this year. But it doesn't matter when you play it. Emotions run high between Alabama and Tennessee. This is one of those games where, to some degree, you can throw out the record book. Usually, like in the Auburn series, the best team wins, but emotion plays a big part of it. And as we saw last year, a tired Alabama team went right down to the wire before pulling one out against the Tennessee team that, frankly, Alabama was a lot better than. But on that particular Saturday, Tennessee was rested and ready to play, and they gave Alabama all that they wanted. And like last year, Tennessee and many other teams will have bye weeks before they play Alabama, and if you don't think scheduling makes a difference, then, well, you don't follow football too closely. It really, really does. So the Tide will have its hands full in Knoxville, even though this could be an undermanned Tennessee football team. You can bet that they will put up their best effort against the Tide on the fourth Saturday in October this year. Coming up, our predictions on games 5 through 8, but right now it's time to go to the telephones. Bart has been patiently waiting in Tuscaloosa. Bart, welcome into the program, my friend.
Thank you. How you doing?
Doing well. Go ahead, Bart.
When is the first ball game going to start?
We don't have a kickoff time yet for that first game against San Jose State, September 4th at Bryant-Denny Stadium. It has yet to be announced. Of course, television will have a lot to say with, will have pretty much everything to say with what time that game is kicked off against the Spartans. But as soon as kickoff time is made available, we will pass it along here on our Sportscast on WVUA. Thanks, Bart, for the phone call. Let's go back to the phones and swing over to Birmingham to talk to Quint. Quint, welcome into Tider Insider TV.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Quint.
Well, I know that my Tide gonna go all the way, but the only two things I'm really worried about this year is LSU and Auburn.
And you should be. Those are always tough games. Tell me why you're concerned.
Well, I'm really not concerned about the defense or the offense. I'm just concerned about, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna be in LSU turf, and you know how it is in Death Valley, and you know. I'm not really worried about Auburn because they coming to Tuscaloosa. That's where the Tide rolls. But only thing I can do is just wait and see what happens.
You're right, Quint. Thanks for the phone call. That's all any of us can do. But I think your concern about LSU is founded. You know, fans have a short memory. And a lot of fans that were on the Les Miles bandwagon just a couple of years ago, driving that bandwagon, have jumped completely off. And there's every possibility that, believe it or not, his job could be on the line this season down in Red Stick if they don't have a good year. And that's going to be a big, big football game for them. And much like everybody Alabama plays, they're going to be ready. And that's a tough environment. I don't care how good a team you are. That's going to be a tough game down in Baton Rouge. And the Auburn game, what can you say? I mean, it's Alabama and Auburn, and will always be an emotional contest, no doubt about that. All right, James is holding in Bessemer. James, hang on with us. We're going to get to you. We've got to take a break, and we'll come back with James right after this. Stay with us.